Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living. My name is Gary. Today is basically prep day, where I'm prepping the foods for my entire week. So what I've done is I've incorporated chard stems, Brussels sprout stems. I've taken them right off the leaf and I've taken the center stems and I've washed them. Also in here are arugula seeds and flowers from my garden. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cooking these in the Instapot. I'll be putting in some celery to control the gas as well, and some carrots that desperately need to be cooked. This is what this video is about. We're going to be making stock in the Instapot. Come and see how this works out. Okay, let's get started.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living, a whole food plant-based lifestyle.
This is the Instapot liner. What we're going to be doing is putting some water in it. I like to put in about 3, maybe 4 cups. Now we're incorporating stems into the Instapot. Now we're going to add more water to the Instapot because what we're really after is broth. Now if this is the case, you make sure you have at least 2 to 3 inches from the top, otherwise it won't seal. Now what we're doing is we're washing the carrots down, but we're leaving the roots on them because the dogs won't mind if the roots are on there. So here what I'm doing is I'm incorporating carrots on the edges of the Instapot. Now I want to show you this. I'm really making these carrots for my dogs. The broth is going to be for me. So it's a win-win situation. The dogs get to have delicious carrots that I incorporate in their dog food, and I get the broth, like I said. Now, of course, we can't let it just stay that way. So what I do is I make it fit the Instapot. See how these other ones are a little bit lower? That's what you want. You kind of gauge it, and you make sure that you have it. And then later on, I'll show you what I do with the other ones. Alright, so the outer edges are full carrots, and the top here are just little cutouts of the carrots I had left over. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to set our timer. What we're going to do is we're going to set it on manual, and we're going to reduce to 3 minutes. Because of the amount of water I have in here, it's going to take a long time to seal. You don't worry about it. You just let it do its thing. Right now it's going to just initialize with the on, meaning it's sealed in the sense that it started the process. Now the next thing you need to do is you have to walk over here and you make sure that this is in the center because you want it to seal. And that's it. We leave it alone. We don't touch it because every time you touch it, it messes up the seal. It tells you it's unhappy too. We'll come back and we'll show you the next different steps to it. And I want you to know that it's been venting now for over a half hour, and yet still there's steam. Watch. So we're going to do something called fast venting so that I can move this along. Now with fast venting, don't put your hand over the top of it. This is steam. It's going to burn you. Be careful. Put your fingers at the tip of this here, like what I'm doing here. You can kind of play musical notes. La, 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 la. Anyway, that's for silliness. And just vent the pot out. You know it's completely safe when the security lock on the lid drops. There, it just dropped. You can open the lid now. Now remember, it's going to be really, really hot. So pick it up and drain the fluid on the inside, like this. See, I'm old, I've got the cap here, and I drain it on the inside. And put it someplace safe, like I have granite countertops, so I'm going to put it right there. You see, even though we left 2 inches on the bottom, some of the carrot expelled some of the liquid, and that's why it took so long to cook this. Now to test it, take a fork, and just simply, see how easily it's going in the carrot? See? That's how you know. So it's all ready. Now we have to drain it, cool it, and then freeze it. Alright, so the Instapot finally released all the pressure, and now what we're going to be doing is removing the contents so it cools down so we can put it away in plastic bags. Of course, it's always to be careful with this because it's very hot. So what we're going to try to do is separate the carrots from the rest of the meal. Bear with me. I'm going to squeeze in this bowl right over here. You see it right here? And here, so we're just going to remove the carrots first. And you're going to pick up some of the stems. So just carefully try to get the carrots out. And they're perfectly cooked. So you know the little babies in the family, Joy and TJ, are just going to love this. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get the carrots out, and then I'll show you what I do for the next step. This is a strainer that was originally cooked. I could have used to cook the vegetables in. I didn't do that. I wanted to cook in the Instapot. And what you do next is you grab the contents, see the spoon, and just slowly you fill up that container. And any liquid that's behind is going to be strained out. So it's going to take some time to get this done, and after that we're going to strain it some more. Now you've gotten a lot of the green out of the soup, but then the next step is really the hardest step. You're going to filter it again. See, we've got very little because we did a good job of it. And this is a clean screen, so it's basically just holding the screen here because I don't have 4 arms. And there's the rest. We're going to basically let this cool, and then we're going to package it up. Alright, so while that cools, I was able to remove the carrots. I want to show you this. This is how I like my carrots to be in. I flatten them down. So here's one right here that's been full. I'm going to flatten it down, open the seal a little bit, get some of the air out of it, and then it will just lay on this much easier if I do it that way. So these are going to be the dog carrots, and if I freeze them, they'll last longer and I'll be able to use them. Now this is my mother's popcorn bowl, and it's just perfect because see how deep it is. It's going to fit the bags just perfect. As I fill it up with, and you want to do it inside a bowl because this makes a mess. Get the batteries out of the way. Alright, so what we do is we use a ladle. The ladle is very small, but we're going to show you an example. So you pick it up. If you use a ladle and you use one per bag, it gives you an idea of how much you want to fill. And of course, when you have to make sure that you have the room in your freezer for this. So if you don't have the room in your freezer, then that's going to cause another set of problems. Okay, so we have these 4 bags with 8 plastic ladles. There. Now, it's a lot easier if you take your plastic bag and you mark it first. And I'm going to call this stem broth. Now, I dated it for fun. But the reality is this broth won't even be around in 2 weeks. I'll have used it in other recipes and it'll be all ready. But before you write on your bag, you have to make sure right now it's damp. So we're going to probably go to the sink afterwards. We're going to clean the bags, dry them down. Alright, so I'll see you in a few minutes. By rinsing it off, your bags won't be sticky. But you do have to dry them before you put in the freezer, otherwise you'll never get them apart. Well, thanks again for watching this quick video.
If you like what you see, subscribe. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.